Just the second time ever. Let's take a little inventory in the Big 12 right now. There have been some significant changes. Texas and Oklahoma, two ranked teams in the top 25, 5 undefeateds, and 4 new kids on the block. As we begin conference play, the first conference game for BYU in 12 years after being independent for that long. BYU will kick off. Trevor Wilson will be back deep for the Jayhawks. Nice crowd on hand here at the booth. BYU and Kansas both coming in 3-0, undefeated. Both teams coming off impressive wins a week ago. BYU in particular winning down in SEC country at Arkansas. We're underway. Wilson at the 7. And he's going to be struck down just outside the 20-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10. Kansas with the football, 1st down and 10. Jalen Daniels going to have the ball. Mark Jones, Lewis Riddick, Quint Kessenich down to the field, joining us in just a moment. Lewis, when you start talking about the relative success, it begins with the quarterback for Kansas.
Yeah, think about Jalen Daniels in 2022. Through the first 6 weeks of the season, you would have thought he was a Heisman Trophy frontrunner, a guy who was seriously going to be considered. Then he has the arm injury. He comes back over the past 2 weeks of 23, completing over 75% of his passes, most of them short and intermediate. Expect him to air it out here early and often.
Former 2-star recruit completes his first pass, out for about an 8-yard gain. That's Lawrence Arnold working against Eddie Hecker. Daniels completing over 77% of his passes last week. On the season, 75. He's the preseason conference offensive player of the year. Very dynamic playmaker. 2nd down and 3 coming up. Chameleon in motion. They're going to have it. Daniels carries it around the left end for the 1st down. Picked up about 5 on the play.
And this is the dual threat capability that Jalen Daniels has. You're going to see him there. He fakes the handoff up the middle, and you see then he just gets out on the perimeter behind Jared Casey, who number 47 you will see. Wherever Jared Casey goes today, a lot of times the run game is centered around his lead blocks. But Jalen Daniels, make no mistake, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in all of college football.
Missed week 1 because of an injury. Still rounding into form. Hands it off on 1st and 10, and that's going to be about a 3-yard gain for Devin Neal. Welcome everyone to Lawrence, Kansas, the 2nd meeting all time between BYU and the Kansas Jayhawks. I'm Mark Jones alongside Lewis Riddick, Quint Kessenich down to the field. Kansas receiving the opening kickoff a moment ago. And you're looking at number 6, Jalen Daniels, who has vaulted over the last year into prominence as one of the top quarterbacks in the country. On 2nd down, over the middle, wide open, complete to Casey, the tight end, and he picks up another 1st down. Lewis, that guy number there, JD6, a big-time playmaker.
Yeah, here you just see him there throwing the football over the middle in that short to intermediate area, which is something, Mark, he has shown that he can do already in 2023. Want to see him push the ball further down the field, because if he does that, if you see him start bombing BYU's defense, you will see his name start trickling across your screen as being someone who's going to be considered for a lot of postseason recognition.
Stellar stats so far on the season. Hands it off on 1st and 10. Nice cut north-south by Devin Neal. And a nice gain of about 6 yards on 1st down. Sets up a 2nd and 4. Devin Neal had a couple of touchdowns last week in their victory at Nevada on the road. A 59-yard reception and a 1-yard touchdown run as well. This is a very varied attack, right, Lewis?
Yeah, it sure is. Look, it's an offense that early on in a football game is going to give you a lot of different looks, a lot of different personnel groupings, a lot of different backfield action to put the defense on its heels early.
Daniels, little play action. Finds a man underneath. That's his tight end again, Jared Casey. This time going to be brought down. Look at the spot, about a half-yard shy of the 1st down. Ben Bywater making the tackle on the 3-yard pickup.
That's just a nice job of just dumping the ball off to Jared Casey on the short throws. Just taking what the defense is going to give him and just moving the football down the field.
This is an offense that racks up 500 yards plus per game on the first 3 games of the season. Casey, one of his favorite targets. 3rd down and short coming up. BYU with a lot of men at the line of scrimmage. There's going to be a whistle first and a flag down. Neal got the first down, but they're going to replay this.
Make it a false start.
Offense number 54, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Lou, let's take a look at your do's and don'ts.
Yeah,
for the
these
game.
are the keys to the game for BYU. You've got to run the football and then hit the play-action shots over the top when you get the football, because you need to produce explosive plays. On defense, where they are right now, no bad eyes. All this backfield action, all this motion, you can't fall for it. For Kansas, dominate the line of scrimmage. You're seeing that already start to play out, and don't turn the ball over at home and give BYU a chance to stay in the game.
The penalty makes it 3rd down and 6. Daniels scrambles out of the pocket, fires down the sideline and out of bounds, intended for Trevor Cardell, and it sets up a 4th down and 6. Well within field goal range for Seth Keller, but they're going to go for it. They're going to keep their offense on the field.
You're down in here in plus 33. You've got a 4th and manageable, 4th and 6. You've got such a varied attack here offensively where you can hit so many different areas of the football field. Why not?
They're 1 of 3 on 4th down so far this year. Little trips right formation. Daniels almost picked off, incomplete. The Cougars with impervious defense on that sequence will take over on downs. Ben Bywater knocked it down, and it'll be 1st and 10 coming back the other way.
Fantastic play by Ben Bywater. You're going to see him right here in the middle of your screen. They're going to rush with 3, and they're going to drop 8, which means they're just going to flood all the zones defensively and make it muddy for Jalen Daniels to read. And you see Bywater right there on the great break on that curl route. That's a perfect call by defensive coordinator Jay Hill in terms of switching up, when to run pressure, when to drop 8 and flood the zones. Ben Bywater, one of the most productive players at the linebacker level, makes a spectacular play.
1st and 10 coming back the other way for Keaton Slovis. Little play fake. Downfield, tipped and incomplete. Let's go down to Quint.
The saying in Lawrence is beware the fog. It should be beware of the lightning. It's 83 right now. Feels super humid. Winds out of the west at 5 miles an hour. But this morning played out as a scene in The Wizard of Oz. It got dark. There were lightning strikes at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and as recently as noon. Pop-up storms in this area throughout the afternoon. I'm told that the next flare-up is likely to occur at around 4 o'clock. Hopefully, Mark, we can make it to halftime without an incident.
I'll take a little more than that, Q. On the jet sweep, what a hit! Oh, he brought some smoke! And he's on fire! Touchdown, Kansas! Kobe Bryant! That's a Mamba mentality right here.
Kobe Bryant read this from the get-go. He saw it coming all the way. He saw wide receiver Parker Kingston, who has been a big playmaker for BYU on the wide receiver reverse. And watch where he puts his shoulder. Boom! Ooh. That's as good as it gets. That's the kind of big play. I'm telling you, look, man, I get fired up about big hits. Lewis. I know this is an offensive league, whether you're talking about college or pro, but big hits like that, you got to get fired up. I got them goosebumps again, Mark. That's what happens.
You could feel that up here in the booth, that hit on Parker Kingston. Tell me about this form, Lewis.
I mean, that's what you got to do. Stay away from the head. Just use the shoulder, put the ball. You see that he avoids the head-to-head contact, puts that shoulder right into his chest. That's what happens. You turn the football over, you get a scoop and score, and now things are on fire here in Kansas.
Okay, again, this is a status bar, this is a search bar. Let's know the difference, okay? Social media. It can be overwhelming for a young homeowner turning into their parents.
Now, what does it mean to slide into someone's DMs? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, we're not ready for that. As a team, we'll get there. It might be a fruit emoji, but that doesn't mean they're talking about fruit.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, do you really think we need 47 photos of fun dinner at Pam's?
Yes.
No.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until 2024. Plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models.
You're watching ESPN College Football delivered by Papa John's. Folks, this is the Big 12 Conference on ESPN, and what a welcome to the Big 12 Conference moment ago for BYU, as Kansas's Kobe Bryant came off the corner and hit Parker Kingston and put it in the end zone on a scoop and score. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars coming back the other way. Let's go down to Q for more.
We talked about the lightning here at the booth. Well, here's some thunder for you. Parker Kingston, welcome to the Big 12. A hit that shook the wheat, and then it waved. The mama mentality from Kobe. This place is pretty lit. I've never seen this stadium as excited as they are right now.
They sold out pretty much the rest of the season here at Kansas, and there's a look at Kingston. They've taken his helmet, and he's going to be attended to by the athletic training staff in wake of that hit. 1st down and 10 coming back the other way. L.J. Martin, an impressive freshman with a nice gain of about 9 on the play. Rich Miller making the tackle on the play. Does a message like that resonate this early?
It absolutely does. I mean, that puts some juice into you immediately, and that's going to be important now for BYU and Keaton Slovis to go ahead and start getting some 1st downs and kind of calm all that down. Withstand the storm.
Hey, look at that. It was a moment ago. Darius Lassiter working against his brother Quentin Lassiter, who pushed him out of bounds. Darius making the catch for 9 yards.
How cool must that be for the parents?
Very.
I mean, just to see your two boys. I mean, I just wonder. I wonder which one you root for. I mean, you got to root for one of them. It's probably the offensive player.
Hey,
look at her.
You can tell which one mom is.
She's
right?
going to have fun today. She's going to have fun today.
Erica Lassiter. Slovis stands in the pocket and delivers a gain of about 9 to his tight end, Isaac Rex, one of his favorite targets. Guys that have developed very strong and bonding chemistry since Slovis got on campus.
Yeah, that's a nice job of Keaton Slovis working from left to right across the field, finds Isaac Rex on the shallow crosser, and he's getting pressure in his face. And look, Aaron Roderick, their offensive coordinator, said one of the most impressive things about Keaton Slovis is his maturity, his calmness in the pocket. You saw it right there. He's going to need it for about 2.5, 3 hours today.
Played a couple of years at USC before transferring to Pitt. Entered the portal in wake of last season, ended up at BYU. Completes it. Isaac Rex again, and a nice gain after the catch by Rex. They're going to spot it at the 36. Quentin Lassiter making his 2nd tackle, but not before a 13-yard gain by the Cougars, who are on the move, and a good response so far.
Yeah, that's a nice little combination, what you call a slant on the outside from the outside guy and a little flat route by Isaac Rex. A natural pick is formed in this man-to-man situation, and then Rex is able to just turn it down the sideline. Again, nice play calling by Aaron Roderick, the offensive coordinator, to settle the offense down and start putting some 1st downs together. Now here they are in plus territory.
1st down and 10, 3 receivers out to the top of your screen. Slovis again working the middle of the field. Another 1st down to the 23-yard line. Isaac Rex again picks up 14. Kalani Sitake. That's right, it is Sitake. That is the proper pronunciation. Kalani Sitake in his 8th season as BYU's head coach. Building a program on the tenets and the backbone of love and learn. And they are learning how to respond right now under a little bit of adversity. Pressure, Slovis got rid of it, and incomplete. Out of the backfield, Devin Phillips with a nice hit. It was intended for Darius Lassiter. And another guy in the throes of building a program in his 3rd season, Lance Leipold, erstwhile the head coach at the University of Buffalo. has coached in Division II football, has worked his way up through the ranks, and there's a lot of excitement. He has awakened the Jayhawk football nation here. 2nd and 10, a little option into the boundary. Slovis with the pitch to Martin. How important for BYU to get a running game going here today?
It was stressed to us over and over again in our production meetings yesterday with the BYU coaching staff. They were not pleased with the fact that they hadn't really established the line of scrimmage yet. They made some changes on the offensive line. Braden Keim, number 64, he's starting at right tackle now in place of Caleb Etienne. And I'll tell you this, they were bound and determined to get this running game going because they said the play-action passing game would come off of it.
Looking at a 3rd and 5. We got a flag down. Might be a little motion up front against the Jayhawks. As for the importance of Kedon Slovis, his coaches say to a man, without him, we don't win last week at Arkansas. Big win in SEC country. And there's the motion up front.
Offside. Defense number 92 entered the neutral zone, causing a reaction from the offensive player. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's Tommy Dunn Jr.
What a nice response so far out of BYU's offense. Really mixing up the passing game and the run game, getting Isaac Rex going, who is really their guy who really controls the middle of the field as a big, strong tight end, 6'5", 255 pounds. And then you see L.J. Martin, the freshman running back, who Kedon Slovis said, this guy doesn't conduct himself like he's a freshman. This guy is all veteran.
1st and 10 from the 13. Slovis going to keep it and chop down after a 1-yard gain. O.J. Burrows. This Jayhawks secondary with some big hits early in this first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know how many times Kedon Slovis wants to pull this football in the zone read because this secondary can run. They're big and they will hit O.J. Burrows, Marvin Grant, number 4, Kenny Logan, number 1. These safeties will run and hunt you down.
Cougars proficient in the red zone. Pass complete to Isaac Rex again. A long, lanky, imposing target brought down by O.J. Burrows, and a 5-yard gain. 3rd down and 4, Lewis.
Yeah, you know, you got to continue to keep an eye on Isaac Rex because of the fact that he's so good at the catch point and he's so big. And then also, if Chase Roberts is in here, number 2, this is a guy who is long, tall, had one of the catches of the year last week at Arkansas. You see him right there at the top of your screen right here. Keep an eye on him as well.
You can hear the booth. Slovis into the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. Darius Lassiter. One half of the Lassiter brothers on the football field today. This one goes not to Quentin, but to Darius.
You're going to see Lassiter right here. You see him going to run up about 5 yards in the end zone and just turn out and settle right in that little soft spot of that zone. And it looked like there was a little bit of confusion amongst the secondary players for Kansas as far as what their matches were within that zone coverage. And with Kedon Slovis, it's 6.
Lassiter and his brother had an opportunity to talk prior to the game down in the field. We'll give you the sounds of that a little bit later. But today, it's 7-7, and it's a family affair. Mom Erica, I tell you what, she's winning on both sides of the ledger right now. They will explain and show you after this break.
Around here, we like to keep things simple and honest.
Sure do. That's why at Progressive, we show you rates from other companies, even if they're lower than ours, so you can choose what's best for your family.
Comparing rates used to be a hard day's work, but not with AutoQuote Explorer.
Need me to help again?
No.
So join us and taste why Progressive is the name people trust.
Sorry, are we talking about apples now or insurance? Why is that funny?
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until 2024. Plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models.
ESPN College Football is delivered by Papa John's. Get Papa John's new boneless wings on the Papa Pairings menu. And in part by Cheez-It, cheesy, crunchy satisfaction.
Well, Darius Lassiter, number 5, and Quentin Lassiter have a chance to meet prior to the game, and this was the scene a little bit earlier with his family as well.
I like these. I got one of them. This is yours. Oh, that's mine? Okay. Don't get no stains on that. I'm a clean. Take your headphones off, bro.
Here we go. That's how brothers speak to each other, right? I mean, that's just natural. We've all been there. What a great moment
right there. Absolutely. The amount of pride.
Late father Kwame played in the NFL for 10 years, and a big hit on the kickoff on Trevor Wilson as we check in with the studio. Going to be interesting to see what kind of crater Travis Hunter's absence leaves for Colorado today.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball. You're right.
It's like 2 players. Devin Neal out of the backfield makes the catch for the first down. And coming up later tonight, one more big game on ABC and the ESPN app. Number 3, Texas in Waco taking on Baylor in what is expected to be a blackout game at McLean Stadium. Coverage beginning at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Should be a great one. And this Kansas team down in Austin next week as part of the Big 12 schedule. Highshaw in the backfield. Now sets. Highshaw on the fake. Dropped by Lawrence Arnold, in and out of the hands of the wide receiver out of DeSoto, Texas. Sets up 2nd down and 10.
The defensive coordinator Jay Hill from BYU said, hey, look, we're going to challenge. We're going to challenge Jalen Daniels. We're going to challenge our secondary to play some man-to-man coverage because we can't let this quarterback get comfortable and start completing passes, and next thing you know, it snowballs on you. So you're seeing them right now. They're up on the line of scrimmage, changing up their looks, sending some extra pressure on Jalen Daniels.
They option in it to the wide side of the field on the toss. Nice cut by Devin Neal, and he's brought down for a gain of about 4 on the play. Sets up a 3rd down. Tanner Wall making the tackle. This is an offense that puts up over 500 yards per game so far this season. Kansas very prolific points-wise as well. Highshaw comes in for Neal on 3rd down and 7.
We haven't seen number 11, Luke Grimm, get involved yet offensively. You see him right here at the bottom of your screen. He's the guy who's the best route runner for Kansas wide receiver group. Most dependable.
Daniels fires, picked off. Intercepted by Camden Garrett, but we have a flag down on the field. Let's see if this stands.
I think you're going to get a defensive holding. Camden Garrett, challenging at the catch point, real aggressive with his hands. You're going to see him grab the top of the shoulder.
Trying to tell me that's illegal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you see it right here.
Holding defense number 7, 10-yard penalty enforced in the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, they were wrestling on that side.
Yeah, they're trying to get in the ball to Quentin Skinner, who is their deep burner, the guy on the outside for Kansas that can really go and threaten the 3rd level of the defense. But look, I think if you're defensive coordinator Jay Hill, you'll take that because you know your guys are playing with the right mentality.
Okay. Well, Kalani Sitake hotter than July after that call on the sideline. He was all up in the official's ear. First down and 10 though for the Jayhawks. Daniels with a clean pocket all day. Throws, completes, and a first down to Quentin Skinner. You talk about buying time.
See
that? No pass rush, Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you trade off when you go drop 8. When you're only rushing with 3 up here and you're covering with 8 and you're playing zone, a lot of times the quarterback can just sit back there and survey the landscape. Now, what you have to do as a defender is when somebody comes into your zone and it becomes a scramble situation, you have to do what they call plaster. find the guy and man him up, because otherwise you're just waiting for somebody to uncover, and it's just too easy for the quarterback.
Jalen Daniels with an ad-lib right there. Out of the backfield, complete one-on-one in the open field. Skinner brought down, wrapped up well by Eddie Heckard, one of the most dependable DBs, number 5 right there. Had a big week last week down in Arkansas. Made a big play on a blitz, knocked the ball loose, caused a fumble. He was all over the field, as he was right there.
And how fun was it talking to Eddie Heckard? He's a guy who's had a tremendous journey, a transfer from Weber State, follows Jay Hill to Provo, playing that nickel position. A lot of you people have heard it be called the star position. That's what they refer to it a lot in the NFL. He's playing some good football for BYU here in 23.
2nd and 9, Daniels on the pitch. Head of steam for Neal. And Neal inside the 20 and a first down for the Jayhawks. Got a good block from Cabledew. 21-yard pickup.
And you're just going to see him get outside here on the perimeter. You see Cabledew, number 77. You see the block downfield. And then after that, it's just it's this green grass. It sure was, man. He sure was. And I'll tell you, Devin Neal is a treat to watch. This is a kid who can do it all, catch the ball to the backfield, run inside, outside. Fun to watch.
1st and 10. Handoff. This one goes to Highshaw. Broke a couple of tackles. Man, he put his hat down and bowed up. 4-yard gain on the play. Tanner Wall.
Daniel Highshaw been doing this all year long. As a defender, you better know this. When he bounces it outside, you better get low. And if you're a safety, Tanner Wall, look, you and your running partner, Ethan Slade, you guys have been playing some good football. 2 walk-ons for BYU at the safety positions. Their names are going to be called a lot tonight, and they have an all-day affair with these running backs, man, because it's going to be a battle in those alleys, as you saw right there.
2nd and 6. Daniels pulls it out into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardell. JD6 delivers. That's the Jalen Daniels that we saw for most of last year prior to his injury. Threw a strike, his 3rd touchdown pass of the season. An impressive 8-play, 86-yard drive.
You see all the different ways, Mark, they can attack you. With the run game, inside, outside, with the backs, the tight ends. Everybody's been involved.
They go up 7. We had Jalen mic'd up a little bit earlier.
It's a great day to be a Jayhawk. I ain't put these in transparency mode. I ain't seen my people yet. Can't see if they're here or not.
Feel good?
Yeah.
I feel it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
I think so.
I feel good.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, to Lawrence, Kansas. The Jayhawks pulling ahead 14-7 in front of a sellout crowd of well in excess of 47,000 people. Jaden Daniels giving people here something new to digest, something new to look at. Consecutive wins with more to come potentially. This will be brought out of the end zone by Marion, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 25. We'll go back to the studio. All right, back here, 1:28 to go in the opening quarter. Seen an abundance of offense. You know, we have had a scoop and score. That pass complete to Keanu Hill out of Bedford, Texas, working against Kenny Logan. 11-yard gain and a first down. Keaton Slovis showed a lot of poise in the prior drive, answering that touchdown on the scoop and score by the Jayhawks. You'd expect that from a guy that is pretty well traveled.
Yeah, he's seen it all. He's gotten a lot of good coaching there. He got a little boundary corner pressure coming in his face. Just subtly drifts out around it. Nice throw on the boundary. First down.
Darius Lassiter, the slot. Martin in the backfield. Slovis pulls it out, completes the pass to Chase Roberts, working against Kobe Bryant. 6-yard pickup on the play. Here's a look at where Slovis has been. Very itinerant, well traveled throughout his collegiate career. A couple of years at USC, 1 year at Pitt, now at BYU. Really ingratiated himself to the people on campus, his teammates. Got there in January, making a seamless transition. 2nd and 4. Nothing doing up the middle. Nowhere to go for Deion Smith. That running game, as Lewis mentioned, is going to be important to establish. Westmoreland making the tackle. And that's the end of the first 15 minutes. A new and very welcome sight here amongst Jayhawk Nation. A packed booth and the home crew leading. That's something to raise your cup to, all right. Back with the second quarter after this.
Okay, again, this is a status bar, this is a search bar. Let's know the difference, okay? Social media. It can be overwhelming for a young homeowner turning into their parents.
Now, what does it mean to slide into someone's DMs? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, we're not ready for that. As a team, we'll get there. It might be a fruit emoji, but that doesn't mean they're talking about fruit.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, do you really think we need 47 photos of fun dinner at Pam's?
Yes.
No.
Imagine a new Buick that makes life a
Piece of cake.
I was gonna say easy as pie, but that's way better. A new Buick that makes backing in a walk in the park when you kayak in the park. Now imagine this new Buick with Wi-Fi and unlimited data. The new 2024 Buick Encore GX.
Get 2.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $750 purchase allowance on 2024 Buick Encore GX models.
When a team runs a lot of 3-deep coverage, what do? You run verticals and you stress this middle of the field safety, and you watch it here. This is exactly what Kansas does. The safety, when you have 3 to the strong side, you got to move over. Otherwise, you get stretched too far horizontally, and it winds up with a touchdown.
On 3rd and 2, BYU going to come up a little bit short. Hayden Hatcher there to make the tackle on L.J. Martin. And they're in a good part of the field where they can just go for it. Slovis still on the field on 4th and short. And this is where their run game comes even more into focus, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is where it's about the offensive line. It's about establishing the line of scrimmage or making sure that you give the quarterback some time in the pocket and someone as experienced as Keaton Slovis to find an open receiver.
3 of 5 on 4th downs this year. And we have a timeout called on the field. Kansas is going to burn its first timeout, giving Kalani Sitake time to ruminate his next one.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh, what am I up to? Just visiting a special secret client. I can't say who it is, but let's just say she bundled her dream house and her dream car for around-the-clock protection with Progressive. Oh. She has another house in Malibu. She's been an astronaut, an architect, a CEO.
We're in front of her house, dude.
Well, I'd love to tell you who her boyfriend is, but I don't think I can. I'd love to tell you, but I don't think I can.
Marty, look for it on digital and Blu-ray.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until 2024. Plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models.
Coach, what's your biggest concern thus far defensively?
Well, right now, obviously Slovis is an experienced quarterback who can keep plays alive and keeps us poised and very accurate. So, it's been a really good first quarter, I think, for both teams, and we've had a couple penalties that have kind of hurt us, and this is going to be a battle.
How can you better impact him?
Well, we got to be able to get some pressure on him, give him some different looks, and we'll keep doing that.
What's your reaction to this crowd?
It's amazing from where we used to be, and it's amazing. Really appreciate the people coming out. It's a great day for college football.
Thank you, Coach.
It certainly is, and part of the evolving culture here in Lawrence, Kansas, with respect to its football program. L.J. Martin, meanwhile, picks up the first down, and Coach Leipold talked about the significance of what a win might mean. When you look at the numbers, it's a great chance to impress the fans here and continue to get some momentum moving forward with that big one coming up next week down in Austin. Looking to start the season 4-0 for the second consecutive year when they won their first 5. 1st and 10 for Slovis. Caught over the middle by Hill. Hung on to it despite taking a hit from Burrows. Well, tomorrow on Sunday, NFL Countdown. A look at 7 years of Jets frustrations as they try to end their losing streak to the Pats. Plus, see how Bijan Robinson got his start by breaking items around his grandma's house. Okay, that story and a lot more on Sunday NFL Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Martin with the run. Breaking stuff in grandma's house makes you a good football player, I guess, right? A top round pick?
Yeah, well, it'll make you elusive when she comes chasing after you.
Hey, that's the part.
That's for sure.
That's the part, Lewis.
You know what I'm saying? Man, no, but Bijan is for real.
Yeah.
He is for real. He looks like he has just hit the ground running, like a lot of young running backs of his caliber do.
2nd down and 6. Slovis gets rid of it quickly. Enough for the first down. Caught by Chase Roberts. Meanwhile, Quint Kessenich telling us a moment ago that Parker Kingston, their fastest receiver, number 82, right there with the towel draped over his head, is done for the game. What does that mean for BYU's offense?
Yeah, it means that a lot of their big play component is over there on the sideline with him, and he took a heck of a shot, and we just hope that he's okay. But they're going to really rely on number 2, Chase Roberts, who had the last reception, as their deep threat now.
Slovis looks one way, comes underneath. Nice move down inside the 20 by Deion Smith. Let's take one more look at that play that had Parker Kingston have to leave the game for the rest of the day.
You see Kobe Bryant. It gets him like right up under the chin. Right, didn't hit him in the face mask, didn't hit him in the head, but
into the end zone, incomplete, intended for Isaac Rex. Good defense that time by Kenny Logan. A safety.
That's a heck of an assignment now. Isaac Rex is 6'5", and you see what they're trying to do from a matchup perspective, trying to get him one-on-one against Kenny Logan, who goes just that 6 foot. Most of the time, Rex will win those one-on-one jump balls. That's a heck of a play by Kenny Logan Jr.
Slovis had completed his last 7 in a row. Marion in motion. Now sets as the slot. 3rd down and 3 for BYU. Trying to answer again is Keaton Slovis. To his left, wide open in the flat, complete to Smith, and pushed out of bounds, but not before he picked up more than enough for the first down.
Mark, that is a NFL caliber catch out of the backfield in a crucial situation. He had to get his body twisted back around, and then look how he has to catch that and then get his eyes upfield so he can get run after the catch. Look, these two backs between Deion Smith and L.J. Martin, that's a nice combination. I cannot stress enough how difficult of a catch that is, trying to get your body contorted and then get the ball upfield.
Smith had initially committed to Stanford before flipping into the end zone and incomplete. Second down and goal coming up. Keaton Slovis, once regarded as a top NFL 2022 draft pick. Kurt Warner was his mentor and coach at Desert High School in Scottsdale, Arizona, where he's from. Comes from good lineage. He's 12 of 16 so far. Looking at 2nd and goal. Well, we're going to take a timeout first.
BYU has called the first timeout of the half.
We'll be back on the other side of this.
Around here, we like to keep things simple and honest.
Sure do. That's why at Progressive, we show you rates from other companies, even if they're lower than ours, so you can choose what's best for your family.
Comparing rates used to be a hard day's work, but not with AutoQuote Explorer.
Need me to help again?
No.
So join us and taste why Progressive is the name people trust.
Sorry, are we talking about apples now or insurance? Why is that funny?
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until 2024. Plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models.
Well, like Spider-Man, you got to shoot your shot. Shoot that web. Get those spidey senses tingling. 11:08 to go here in the first half. Kansas leading by a touchdown, but BYU threatening right now. 2nd and goal. L.J. Martin in the backfield. Lewis Isaac Rex, an imposing target at 6'6". He's made a lot of catches already today, too.
Yeah, and he's a problem down here. There's a reason why this team is 10 for 10 coming into this game as far as red zone scoring efficiency. And a lot of it has to do with guys like him and number 2, Chase Roberts.
Roberts in motion, now sets to the right of Slovis. Looks back to his left. They set up a screen. He's got some blocks. Martin, touchdown! Waltzes into the end zone. And they're an extra point away, but hold on. There's a flag down on the field. Let's see if this is going to stand or not.
I think that might be on Kansas. For a defender going low on a block. What a well-designed screen. Yeah. Good blocks out there on the perimeter by Lapuaho.
Block below the waist. Defense number 5. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the kickoff. Good play to trust.
That's going to go against O.J. Burrows. And that's the first touchdown catch.
Yeah, you're going to see it right here. You're going to see the offensive lineman. You see Burrows go low. That's a dangerous play. That's why they have outlawed in open field your ability to go low on blockers, because they're trying to prevent knee injuries just like that.
And we are knotted at 14. Big 12 conference play underway in earnest back after this.
Around here, we like to keep things simple and honest.
Sure do. That's why at Progressive, we show you rates from other companies, even if they're lower than ours, so you can choose what's best for your family.
Comparing rates used to be a hard day's work, but not with AutoQuote Explorer.
Need me to help again?
No.
So join us and taste why Progressive is the name people trust.
Sorry, are we talking about apples now or insurance? Why is that funny?
Imagine a new Buick that makes life a
piece of cake.
I was going to say easy as pie, but that's way better. A new Buick that makes backing in a walk in the park when you kayak in the park. Now imagine this new Buick with Wi-Fi and unlimited data. The new 2024 Buick Encore GX.
Get 2.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $750 purchase allowance on 2024 Buick Encore GX models.
We're at the Oriad Hotel high above campus, which also overlooks David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. We're sitting on Mount Oriad, which is fortified by limestone deposits. It is those limestone deposits that led to the famed Kansas chant, Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Q, Lewis, been doing this 32 years. Didn't know that that was the origin of the cheer.
Had no idea. But that's why Q with the Q tips. He finds stuff out.
Oh, man, limestone. That's the key on the return. Out to the 27-yard line. Cute dropping smart bombs on us.
No, I know. You get smarter working on this crew. Our producer, Kim Belton, Corey Taylor, the whole bunch. Every week, we go places and we find interesting things to educate ourselves and for the fan at home.
Limestone. Look at that venue and that vantage point. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Beware the fog. A lot of great tradition here on campus. Several different sports, but right now it's the football program that is generating a lot of buzz. First down and 10 for the stellar quarterback Jalen Daniels. Out of the backfield, complete. And good tackle on Neal. Coming up off his corner spot and linebacker spot. Vongpachan with a 2-yard loss on the play. A.J. Vongjapan. Devin Neal, a Lawrence native. One of the guys that, the type of player that Coach Leipold wants to build this program around. Player development, a big part of it. On the handoff, here's Neal again. Great shake up the middle. There's a flag down. It'll be a first down if it stands. $17-yard gain. Looks like it's going to be a hold, though, against Michael Ford.
Holding, offense, number 54, 10-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Second down.
Yeah, he's going to see him right here. He has a hold of the linebacker, Max Tooley, who's trying to get off the block. He's like, nah, you're not going anywhere. And that's how you see Devin Neal able to get north and south for a nice run. Just got to be tight with your hands, keep them inside. Look, there's holding on every offensive play, okay? Yeah. Let's make no mistake about it. They hold every play. You just can't get it outside the framework, up on the shoulders. And once they try to disengage, you got to let go so the refs don't call.
Spoken like a true former safety.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is,
man. Let it go, baby, let it go. Every play, huh? Okay. And of course, Coach Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator for the Jayhawks, a former offensive lineman, looking for blocks this time for Lawrence Arnold. But not much running room. Good defense by BYU. So tell me, really, every play?
Yeah.
So if I'm engaged, show me how it's holding every play. If I'm trying to block.
If I'm the blocker,
right,
you can keep them in here, and you hold every play. When they try to disengage, and you see that's when you have to let go as an offensive lineman. You can't get outside here. Refs will call that every time. Keep it in here. Keep it tight on the breastplate. They won't call it. It happens every play. Offensive lineman, look. They changed the rules for him, all right? It's basically cheating, but it's all good, though. It's all good. You just can't get caught.
Man.
Just don't make it so obvious that they catch you.
Sense a little residual resentment right there.
You know what, man? Somebody got to stand up for the defense.
3rd and 18. Daniels trying to work that defense. Incomplete. Quentin Skinner with good defense. Camden Garrett, pardon me, Skinner the intended receiver. And they're going to have to punt on 4th down and 18. Nice matchup down the sideline as Daniels trying to find the lanky 6'5" receiver.
That's a heck of a job by cornerback Camden Garrett. Another one of those transfers for BYU this year in the secondary. Another guy who comes from Weber State, who followed Jay Hill to Provo. Playing the eyes, playing the hands, being aggressive down the field, not giving up any explosive plays.
Here's the punt. It's come down at the 40-yard line, 1st down and 10. A 42-yard punt as we go back to the studio. Buffalo struggling right now.
You knew they were going to be up for a heck of a challenge here today. It's not a surprise. It's something that we all talked about heading into this game. A lot of ball game left, a lot of season left. Deion Sanders is only in the beginning of that program build.
9 minutes to go in the first half. On the toss, nowhere to go for L.J. Martin, the former Stanford commit, wrapped up for a loss. Robinson, the first one to get there. First time we've called his name this afternoon, Lewis.
Yeah, it sure is. And look, he's one of those guys who the BYU coaching staff was aware of from his pass rush perspective. But here, you see this. That's this nice recognition, flatten down the line of scrimmage before LJ can get turned upfield. You're going to hear his name called at some point tonight with his pass rush ability, because he can really go when he knows it's a drop back pass.
Martin in motion. Nowhere to go for Slovis. Broke one tackle, couldn't break the second. And it's going to set up a 3rd down and long now for BYU. Robinson again, the first one to get there.
I mean, here you're seeing it. The kind of physicality that both of these teams are playing with from a defensive perspective and offensive perspective. And you see Kansas right now is sending a message. And they're saying, hey, look, welcome to the Big 12. This is how we play here. We got some big games coming up. They're trying to keep this fan base engaged. They're trying to bring new fans in here and make all those people on the fringe believe in Kansas football. What a great start to this football game, a back-and-forth battle.
They've already had 10 sacks this season defensively. On the catch and run. Ball came out. It's on the ground. But the Cougars recover. Marvin Grant knocked it loose out of the arms of Darius Lassiter. And it'll be 4th down. So the Cougars dodge one there. They'll punt it with under 7.5 minutes to go.
Usually that's what happens when you have a lot of hats going to the football. A lot of defenders chasing the ball. You just take your shot because you know if you miss, your buddy's there to clean it up. So that's when you try and put your hat on that football, put your pads on that football, pull at the football, take some chances. Kansas flying around here early in this football game.
Punt is going to bounce short at the 31. Taken by the up man, Torrey Loughlin. And they're going to have good field position after that 3 and out by the Cougars. 36-yard punt, 13 on the return. 1st and 10 for Daniels on the other side.
Can't sleep.
Just a lot on my mind.
I can't sleep either.
It only gets tougher with age.
Mom, what?
Well, knowing Progressive can protect your home, auto, and business should help you relax.
Good, because I could use a good night's sleep.
Me too. You know how early a chimney sweep gets up every day?
Wait, is this all a dream?
Why would Jamie be in my dream?
I am America's biggest spokesperson.
Debatable.
I said biggest.
Well, he's got you there.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until 2024. Plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models.
This Kansas Jayhawk was colorful and true, believe it or not. He was a first for many to see, Mr. Edward Harvey in 1893. His song wasn't just for Brian. Gale spinning left folks crying. Stopping him meant slim pickings. You know the name, Riggins. Mike flattened many on their back. Yes, it was the return of the McCormack. Do you Jayhawks believe? Fight the power to leave.
Edward Harvey, what an incredible story. Played football here in 1893, the first black player in Kansas history. The son of former slaves, his parents, Rebecca and David, set up in Kansas as sharecroppers. Ultimately, they bought 15 acres and sent Ed and the 2 brothers, Sherman and Frederick, to Kansas, where they played football and baseball. Ed was the center on that team. And then later on in the early 1900s, when Chancellor Lindley rescinded and he said that black athletes were banned, it was Harvey who spoke up and spoke up strongly, understanding the cultural diversity and how important it is for a university.
Harvey, a hero to be recognized, and obviously tough at the time to say the things that he obviously did. Lawrence Arnold with the reception and a 1st down for Kansas. And a big thank you from Mr. Harvey for helping pave the way for youngsters like Quentin Skinner and Lawrence Arnold and all of us here in the booth and on the field.
First and 10 Kansas at the BYU 45.
Neal in the backfield on 1st and 10. Option into the wide side of the field. Great pursuit and tackle. BYU getting there early with a lot of bodies. Ben Bywater was the first one to make the hit. Mangelson followed after that. Loss of 2 on the play, setting up a 2nd down and 12. At what point do we really see Daniels try and take the top off the defense, Lewis?
Yeah, what's interesting is he did try to get one to Quentin Skinner down the sideline, but Camden Garrett played it perfectly. Some double moves have to be coming. It's something that the BYU secondary has been susceptible to. I think we will get that at some point in time here.
Daniels gets rid of it quickly behind his receiver. Intended for Luke Grimm, one of the leading receivers on the season. And now for tonight's Aflac trivia question. What Kansas alumni are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I know one. I know at least one.
Yeah, he was a bad dude,
too. Number 40,
that's the only one that I know.
Yeah. No time to Google, folks. 3rd and 12 for the Jayhawks. Blitz coming, picked up. Daniels going to be sacked back at the 38-yard line. Ben Bywater, one of many Cougar bodies converging on the quarterback. And that
what a nice simulated pressure. You're just going to see Bywater here. You're going to see 4 come off of this side, and they're going to still cover with 7, so they make it look like they're going to blitz you with 5 or more, but they still only rush 4 and then play coverage in the back end. Just play a nice simple 3-deep zone, and that confuses the offensive line as to who's coming, who's not, where to set the protection. Great call on the part of Jay Hill, defensive coordinator.
Graves on the punt. Comes down at about the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 from there with 4:21 to go. Bywater feeling himself a little bit. Okay. Do your dance.
Ben Bywater. I see you, number 2.
And why not celebrate and be happy after you make a stellar play like that? 1st down and 10 for the Cougars. Starting from their own 16-yard line without one of their top receivers, Parker Kingston. Knocked out of the game early in the 1st quarter. They're going to run it here. This is L.J. Martin. There's a flag down on the play on a 2-yard gain.
Personal foul, hands in the face, defense number 30, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's against Rich Miller. Let's answer the Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
What former Kansas players are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Okay, Gale Sayers and Riggins as well.
How did I miss Riggs? We just
Man,
saw
they gave us
him.
the answers to the test.
I just saw the picture of him the other day. But you know what?
Hey,
I'll tell you what, Gale Sayers, let me tell you, nobody did it better. Barry Sanders before Barry Sanders.
How about that?
Unbelievable.
Pressure off the edge for Slovis, picked up in the backfield and incomplete at the 45-yard line, intended for Chase Roberts. I remember watching Brian's Song, the famous movie about the relationship between Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo as a youngster, and brought tears to my eyes every time when you watch that movie. Gale Sayers, had they had arthroscopic knee surgery back in the day, he might have been able to play more years in the NFL with the Bears.
If you've never seen some of his runs, just Google Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
2nd and 10. Slovis underneath, complete, and brought down right away is Darius Lassiter. Cornell Wheeler making the tackle on Quentin Lassiter's brother. 3rd down coming up on the 2-yard gain.
Kansas doing a nice job of changing up their looks. BYU has had answers for pretty much everything. You've seen the screen game going. You've seen the run game going. You've seen Keaton Slovis be real calm and cool in the pocket. They've really tried to target Darius Lassiter in the slot against zone coverage in particular. It has a tremendous catch radius at the top of your screen right here.
Slovis delivers, caught in midfield. What a catch by Chase Roberts, who last week made a touchdown reception against Arkansas, reminiscent of OBJ.
Yeah, watch this route that he runs. It's a post corner. Watch, he's going to act like he's going to the post and just kind of stab at it and then come back out on the out route.
Come on,
that
man.
is a heck of a route. And I'll tell you this, Chase Roberts is someone who continues to develop. He has already got the hands, he's got the toughness, got the speed. Now his route running coming along as well.
18-yard pickup. Slovis surveys and incomplete at the 48-yard line for Deion Smith. I was talking about that catch that Roberts made last week against Arkansas. If you don't believe me, the fact that it was a top play, SportsCenter #1 top play, look at this. Well, this is one of them, one of the touchdowns. But
Here
here's
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, just watch this.
Touchdown, Chase Roberts.
How in the world did he catch that?
We're still wondering. And that's not going to be enough. They stopped the run in the middle. That impregnable front led by Devin Phillips, one of the leaders on that Jayhawk front. No gain. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, Devin Phillips, Gage Keys as well. They have a lot of transfers, a lot of size on this defensive line now. And that's the way they expect them to play against a power running game.
3rd and 10 coming up. Roberts split wide to the bottom of your screen. Marion inside of him. Play clock down to 4. They got to get busy. Got it off in time, but short of the first down. Good catch by Keanu Hill. It's going to be 4th and short at about the 40-yard line. 8-yard pickup. And the offense staying on the field. What do you make of this move?
Yeah, I think here you're seeing Kalani Sitake just saying, look, we're going to stay aggressive here. They haven't really slowed us down. We've had answers for all the different things that they're trying to do, quite honestly. But look, they've made a couple big plays, a couple big hits. No question about that. And they're flying around to the football. But I think Aaron Roderick right now has a good feel for what they're trying to do defensively.
They fake the jet sweep. They've already converted once on 4th down today. And the Cougars are going to call a timeout. We'll take one and go back to the studio.
BYU has called their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
All right, Matt. Well, here's this week's Sunday Night Baseball matchup, the big series finale between the Giants and Dodgers, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown. BYU with the ball, 4th and short coming up. You know, we talk about the transfer portal so much these days. It's a prominent role in college football. BYU has some 60-odd players from the portal this year, and so far a seamless fit, it looks like, with their success.
But this is a team that really does emphasize, a program that emphasizes relationships. Kalani Sitake, one of the best at really stressing that aspect of it. And you see it, he's getting the results on the field.
4th and 2, gonna throw it. Mr. Reliable down to the 24-yard line, Isaac Rex. Who else would be the guy? 16 yards, and they move the sticks with a little over a minute to go.
And just a nice route combination. Isaac Rex in there as the tight end, just runs a little 7 route, a corner route, as they call it. Everyone goes for the short routes, the flat route, the spot route, and Keaton Slovis finds him perfectly.
5 catches for 57 yards, this time underneath, and another completion down to the 16-yard line to Chase Roberts. 43 seconds to go. Booker making the tackle on the 8-yard gain.
There you saw a little bit of Chase Roberts' short area explosiveness, his ability to get the ball north and south after the short catch. That's why they love him so much in BYU.
Martin in the backfield. Slovis looking Martin's way, couldn't catch it. Incomplete with 24 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd down and 2. BYU has been very proficient in the red zone this year, Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. pretty much almost perfect.
Yeah.
And the reason why, the play calling has been exquisite. Keaton Slovis is a good decision maker. Everything happens fast down there, and they've got guys who can go up and get the ball. You saw the catch that Chase Roberts made. We've already called Isaac Rex his name numerous different times. Darius Lassiter, number 5, another guy 6'3", 6'4". They have numerous different options that they can go to here.
On 3rd down and 2. We're going to have a timeout.
BYU has called their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Cougars burned their last timeout. Satake, the first Tongan head coach in FBS history, and really doing great things at BYU. They have a 7-game winning streak dating back to last year, and he said that, you know, the fact that he's the first of his kind on the sidelines really opens the doors to diversity on the football team. He says, and I quote, "It's allowed me to show that you can be diverse and successful and productive." Look at his numbers throughout the years and all those bowl appearances.
This is a guy now who also knows football on both sides of the ball. He's a former fullback. He's a defensive coordinator. He's now been a head coach. He's been coached by some of the very greats that this game has ever seen. Hey, this is a guy right now, if you were looking for a head coach, and I'm not saying you should be going to BYU trying to take Kalani Sitake, that'd be one of the guys I'd call immediately.
3rd down and 2. Let's see what they do. Slovis down the sidelines. Wide receiver Hill was out of bounds. Marvin Gren in on the coverage, and it's going to be 4th down and 2, and in comes the field goal unit for BYU. Cougar Nation's going to be upset at you, man.
Yeah,
have people
interviewing
their coach.
Trust me. I wasn't saying the people should be jumping and trying. I'm just talking about the qualifications and the resume and what Kalani Sitake brings to the table. He is so fun to talk to. He keeps you so calm, and that you hear his competency come through. It's just, it's a trick. They've got a great one out there in Provo.
Will Farron knocks this one through from 33 yards out, and that puts BYU up by 3 with 15 seconds to go in the first half. Cougars looking for their 8th consecutive win. Going back to last year, they take their first lead of the afternoon. Well, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. And a nice crowd on hand here in Lawrence, Kansas. BYU up by a field goal. You know, back to put a period on Kalani Sitake and talked about the different types of players he has on his team. He says we have Christians, we have Jewish players, we have Muslim players, LDS players that all are engaged and participate, and he thinks it's a wonderful thing. And it's a different type of program. BYU is a unique place with players serving their missions of 2 years. It's a big juggling act, and Sitake is handling it extremely well. Guy that learned under the auspice of legendary Lavelle Edwards, one of the great coaches of all time.
Kalani understands the benefits and the pluses of the transfer portal.
Yes.
The pluses of diversity, how a football team itself kind of really embodies that and represents that. That's the beauty of it, he said, that you see guys from all these different backgrounds come together, you know, to work for a common goal. What better example is that than for society to follow? And he is, look, he applauded Deion Sanders for what he is doing in Colorado, and they're trying to do it in BYU.
Yes, sir. Neal on the carry. Cougars with over 60 players out of the portal. We talk about the Buffaloes and Deion Sanders, what he's doing. There are a lot of players in the portal, and not all of them are going to Colorado.
That's true.
Q?
Yeah, Kalani's a fascinating person, having grown up on the north side of Hawaii. Then he went to high school in St. Louis, Missouri. You guys mentioned that cultural melting pot. He's embracing everybody and always has. Our differences bind us together. And this is a 47-year-old coach with a big family. He's got 4 kids, but an interesting spread with their ages. A 19-year-old, a 16-year-old. He's got a 1-year-old baby also. So he's kind of a new dad all over again. Said sleep has been sold separately lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just such a good dude, man. Such
Wonderful
a good dude,
vibration.
Great coach.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hey, look, both of the head coaches in this game here today, when you think about Lance Leipold, just fantastic coaches.
Great build in his 3rd year. He's got his quarterback on the move right now. Daniels slides in safely at the 41-yard line. You know, Daniels wears a pendant, a chain around his neck when he's not playing. The pendant is an Apple Watch face that has his own highlights on it. He's going to be looking to add some highlights onto that for from the second half of this football game with his team trailing 17-14. All that ice around his neck and some videos of his highlights. Speaking of highlights, go back to the studio. It's halftime. Welcome back, everyone, to Lawrence, Kansas, where you're watching ESPN College Football, delivered by Papa John's. This is the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Opening weekend of conference play in the Big 12. BYU with a 3-point lead over Kansas, and this is the second meeting all time between these two teams. The trigger man, Kedon Slovis, at quarterback for BYU. He has been itinerant throughout his collegiate career. 3 different D1 stops after being offered by several Power 5 schools coming out of high school. Pittsburgh was the second stop after USC, and now putting a cap on his career, a successful one, Lewis, at BYU.
Yeah, like, you know, all that experience that you have seen him have throughout his collegiate career has showed up here in the first half. He's completed passes to 6 different receivers, been efficient in the red area. He stood in there against pressure, nice and cool and calm in the pocket. Look, Aaron Roderick and Kalani Sitake could not have been more effusive in their praise for him when we talked to him yesterday, saying he was the perfect fit for this football program, both on and off the field. And Kedon was just fun to talk. He told us some fun stories about, you know, coming from a family of educators, you know, his mom and dad both being middle school teachers at one point in time. What a fun kid to talk to. And he's playing some good football here so far tonight.
Right out of Central Casting when you talk about putting together a quarterback. Cougars will have the football, first down and 10 from the 25-yard line to start this second half. And when you talk about Slovis, what does he have to continue to do to keep them on a positive trend?
Yeah, I think just continue to distribute the football. Lean on the run game when it's there, you know, making sure he's getting them in the right plays, in and out of the right plays. Don't turn the football over, and just continue to lead, especially now when the game's going to get tight, right? You know Kansas is going to make some adjustments. You know there's probably going to come a point in time where they're down in this football game. Make plays like he's done all year long. See if they can keep that undefeated streak going.
3 receivers out to his right. Cougars playing without Parker Kingston, one of their top threats. Almost a pick 6. Wow, O.J. Burroughs was thinking about a pick 6. Had it go in and out of his arms. He had a beat on this, Lewis.
Yeah, that is not what you want to do if you're Kedon Slovis. He's just reading the 3-step, just sitting on it and seeing if he can go ahead and steal one. We saw that last week in Colorado with Shiloh Sanders. Did the same thing and basically took it 80 yards for a touchdown. Same type of thing. You just sit on the 3-step drop. Quarterback looks at it, stares it down. You just go. You just got to catch it.
Burroughs had a couple of picks last year for the Jayhawks defensively. 2nd and 10. Under pressure, Slovis got rid of it. Incomplete at the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10 intended for Rex. Let's check out our first half stats brought to you by Cintas. Just 8 paltry yards rushing the football, but 172 through the air.
That is not going to make the BYU coaching staff happy. They told us we have to run the football better because the passing game is even better when we do. 8 yards, not going to get it.
They're going to try and pass here. Slovis on the rollout. Behind his receiver. Picked off this time. Coming back the other way. Logan, pick 6. Payback.
You're going to see Kedon trying to get the ball to Isaac Rex. and you see it's a little bit behind him. And what do they teach you on defense all the time when the ball's in the air? You break and you run hard, even if you're not at a point of contact. Why? Because tips and overthrows, as they say in the defensive meetings room, you've got to get those, because when you get them, that's what can happen.
Wow. Jason Gillum, number 10, tipped it up in the air long enough for Logan to get to the football. And that's the second defensive touchdown today for the Jayhawks, who now have a 4-point lead. Well, O.J. Burrows had an opportunity prior to that, just moments before, but Logan was able to capitalize. And Slovis got upended by Wheeler on the play and was a little slow to get up.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh, what am I up to? Just visiting a special secret client. I can't say who it is, but let's just say she bundled her dream house and her dream car for around-the-clock protection with Progressive. Oh. She has another house in Malibu. She's been an astronaut, an architect, a CEO.
We're in front of her house, dude.
Well, I'd love to tell you who her boyfriend is, but I don't think I can. I'd love to tell you, but I don't think I can.
Marty, look for it on digital and Blu-ray.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile. They won't raise your rates at T-Mobile. You'll get a great deal every day.
You fought for 162 games.
He's in there.
Now your shot at glory is hanging by a thread.
He caught it.
The moment is here.
Ball game.
The MLB Wildcard Series on the networks of ESPN.
Back in Lawrence, Kansas, where the sun has popped out. Let me tell you, it's like a kiln down here. It's like 85, but it feels like 100 degrees. It is super hot and humid, and Lance Leipold's got to be happy with the work his defense has done. He said earlier at halftime, they got to get their inside running game going on offense between the tackles and downhill. And then defensively, the one key, find Isaac Rex. 6 targets in that first half, 5 receptions for 57 yards. Big number 83 has been a problem.
Yeah, went to the well one too many times on that last one. You know, there is a transformation going on here in Kansas. Back a couple of years ago, we were here to call this game against Oklahoma. They were prohibitive, decided underdogs, but the Jayhawks hung tough. At one point, though, the fans actually left. There were less than 20,000 people here before Caleb Williams led the Sooners back to victory. But at one point during the game, people on social media got wind of the fact that it was a competitive nail-biter, and they were called back to the stadium here. They opened up the gates, let everybody in, and it led to a thrilling finish. Downfield, caught at the 25 by Chase Roberts. What an answer. Mello Dotson was defending. What a catch.
Hey, what a catch. You could not throw that ball any better than what Keaton Slovis just threw that. He drifted left in the pocket, was on the far hash, and launched this ball. I mean, look at where it lands. I mean, if you're Chase Roberts, you're going, did he walk up and hand that to me? Or did he throw it about 45, 50 yards in the air? That is a beautiful throw.
What an answer by Slovis, who got up slow after being hit into the end zone. Tried to dial up Chase Roberts again and almost came up with it. Defended well by Mello Dotson.
Yeah, there you see Chase Roberts again running this 7 route, an inside release, take him up the field and then break it back out to the pylon. Looked like you're going to the post, break it back outside, but that's great coverage by Mello Dotson. Didn't go for the inside head nod, played with his leverage, was in perfect position. You love this back and forth, man.
Yeah.
This kind of back and forth. Good defensive play, good offensive play. That's exactly what you want.
Dotson out of Daytona Beach, Florida. Mainland High School. Slovis hands it off this time to L.J. Martin, who's brought down after a gain of about 2 on the play. Dunn making the tackle.
As you guys watch BYU operate on offense right now, noticing their offensive line looks a little different. They got Kime playing left tackle. Fitzgerald's at left guard. I know earlier Lapuaho was hurt, but this is a little situation to keep your eyes on, because they've struggled at the right tackle position.
He hurt his elbow on that on that screen, Lapuaho. Yeah, now they're trying to make some adjustments. It's basically, you know, 3 different moves that they made along this offensive line.
Suamataia, number 78, the anchor up front, number 78. Slovis got rid of it to a security blanket. Complete. Isaac Rex with the catch and run. And it's going to be 1st and goal. 14-yard pickup.
The man that they affectionately call the Elk. I love that name.
That's different, man.
But I'll tell you, he is an absolute stud. I mean, he's just a guy who just, you know, he reminds you, for all you old school NFL fans, of like a Mark Bavaro type, just big, 6'5", 260 pounds. It maybe looks like he's lumbering, but he's just gaining steam on you. Great hands.
You see the chemistry between he and Slovis.
Absolutely.
Spent a lot of time this summer down in Rex's home with his parents, playing catch all day. Slovis crossed the formation, tried to hit him again, and that one incomplete. And this BYU's first conference game as a member of the Big 12 after being independent for the last 12 years. Doesn't feel like that long ago they were still in the Mountain West to me, but with all the changes and schools leaving and joining different conferences, really need a scorecard. Rex, meanwhile, 6 catches for 71 yards. 2nd and goal coming up. They go empty. 5 receivers. Slovis under duress. Sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Caleb Etienne was trying to protect his quarterback, Austin Booker, applying the pressure that time on Slovis.
And this is one of the guys that they were worried about. You're going to see him right here at the top of your screen. And watch Austin Booker with this upfield and come back inside. Boom! And you see he just leaves Etienne, who they were worried about at right tackle in the first place. Remember, he wasn't in the starting lineup. You see the knee right there.
Yeah, touched. Loss of 14. 3rd and goal. All the way back at the 23. And the Cougars going to call a timeout, their first of the second half.
BYU has called their first timeout of the half.
We'll take one with them. Former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Michael Drittline rode in the BMS Coast to Coast for Cancer ride last week in the first segment of the ride. He was in Kansas City at the University of Kansas Medical Center today, cheering on this year's riders as they cycle through. And shout out to him for his efforts to support a very worthy and noble cause in trying to defeat this insidious disease that has touched so many lives. 3rd and goal coming up. Chase Roberts, the inside receiver of the 3.
Whenever they line him up there, it's usually a sign to keep an eye on him. Number 2, top of the screen, inside.
They're going to hand it off on 3rd and goal. Tell me about that quote-unquote conservative call.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, it's interesting. Look, Aaron Roderick has said, though, look, we are trying to get this offensive line untracked. I'm sure he's a little bit worried now with all the different injuries about pass protection. As you saw, now that Caleb Etienne is back at right tackle, Braden Keim at left tackle. I'm sure he's just thinking, hey, you know what? Let's not take any more losses of yardage, maybe a strip sack. Get what we can, kick a field goal.
Farron from 34 yards out brings them to within a point of Kansas. Lewis, in watching the film, you had an interesting comp when you look at Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy who reminds you a little bit of Deshaun Watson in terms of his ability to throw the football at all 3 levels, although his deep passing game has struggled a little bit early in this season, and then his ability to create outside the pocket. And you can just see it here. The similarities are kind of eerie in terms of their body movements and the way they release the football, and then the ability to run the football, whether it be on quarterback design run or something that you just create outside of structure. And look, our team put together a tremendous comparison right here. Corey Taylor, look, my hat's off to you, man. You found the perfect plays, and they really do need Jaden to get going as far as his downfield passing attack. Look, the defense has really kept his team in it. But once he's able to get on track with the deep passing game, this young man is electric.
Quite a story. Was committed to Middle Tennessee State, the former 2-star quarterback, and then Kansas came in at the last minute and flipped him. Was offered by the Jayhawks, and people that he was close to had some ties to Kansas. They're going to start off 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line. His coach in Los Angeles, he's from Lawndale, Charles Gordon, played at KU right here, and he signed with the Jayhawks sight unseen. That's trust.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Although I'll tell you what, I think that's happening a lot more now maybe in college football than it ever has before, especially in the age of NIL.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing, but yeah, I think it's a new day and age in college football.
Hey, we all got Cash App. 1st down and 10. Daniels going to hand it off. Boy, Highshaw broke a couple of tackles. Relentless, ruthless running, and a stiff arm too on Bywater.
Daniel Highshaw is no joke. You see it right here. Oh, he gets it right on the face mask.
Went straight Derrick Henry on that one.
I'll tell you what, Highshaw is a thick, low center of gravity, 220-pound runner. That's a nice compliment to Devin Neal. Yeah, I mean, you can just see it. Just look on your screen. See it right there. Would you want that? Would you want to deal with that?
Man. Yesterday must have been an arm day for him. Takes another handoff here. He's going to be stopped up short of the 1st down, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 1. And look who was there again. Bywater, number 2 for the Cougar defense. Sets up a 3rd down and short. Approaching 10 minutes to go in the quarter.
And another player, Isaiah Banya, who defensive coordinator Jay Hill said, hey, look, we need him to show up. And you saw him close down the line from the top of your screen to the bottom of your screen, the defensive end, number 13. They have some playmakers on the defensive side of the ball at all 3 levels here. They've been banged up at safety. They got some players.
Wow, and we got a flag.
False start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
We'll have 2 Monday Night Football matchups again. Jalen Hurts leading 2-0 Philadelphia against Baker Mayfield. That's right, in the 2-0 Bucks. At a special start time, 7 Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. And Matthew Stafford and the Rams taking on Joe Burrow and the Bengals at 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN2, and Deportes. Lewis, you're going to be there. Good games, man.
Hey, they sure are, man.
Going to Cincinnati?
You just hope, we'll see what happens with Joe Burrow as far as his status is concerned. But him and Matthew Stafford is the truth. He is throwing the football as well as he ever has. Can't wait to see him play.
Daniels flushed out. Nice move. The ball was loose. Held on to it on the tackle out to the 37, 38-yard line. Enough for the 1st down. And that's that dimension that is so priceless that he adds.
Yeah, it just gives him a new set of downs to work with because there was nothing open downfield. And you could just see Jackson Craven's number 91, the defensive tackle from BYU. I mean, he was absolutely coming around that horn and chasing Jalen Daniels down. But exactly, the ability to create outside of structure. That's what you love about him.
1st and 10 from the 35. Keeps it on the option. Daniels just tripped up at the 50-yard line and falls forward to the 47. A spirited run for 17 yards.
Mark, you see all the different things. Now they're just going to run the speed option. And you just see there, Devin Neal just waiting to see if he's just going to turn and pitch it to him. He's got a short corner. You see the defender take the pitch, man, and he just turns it upfield. I mean, this is just why this guy just causes you headaches and why this offense causes you headaches. They can go from a speed option team to a zone read team to a downfield passing attack in the blink of an eye in 3 plays.
Versatility. Looking to throw it this time. Over the middle. Complete at the 30-yard line to Arnold. And Lawrence Arnold moving the chains. They've got some long, lanky receivers. Arnold stands 6'3".
You see there, the little play-action fake. Arnold just running like the 15-yard dig route, meaning you're just going to break it inside, get the cornerback to turn, make you think you're going to go deep, and then just break it off. And you see, look, Lawrence Arnold's a big boy, too, 6'3", 200 pounds. He gets low to scoop that low throw.
Chose Kansas over Cal and Kansas State. Little receiver screen here. Down to the 25-yard line. Devin Neal brought down by Ben Bywater. Sets up a second down and about 5 to go on the 5-yard pickup at the 25.
I mean, just look at all the different ways, again, that offensive coordinator Andy Koltanicki is able to attack a defense. The different formations, motions, quarterback handling, concepts from speed option to zone read to drop back pass. I mean, they've got it all in their arsenal here offensively.
Daniels hands it off, a gaping hole in the middle for McDuffie. And a first down at the 15-yard line. Koltanicki, a former offensive lineman, got to be happy with this blocking up front.
Yeah, I mean, just watch this open up right here. It's going to be about right there. I mean, just look at this. Look at that. I mean, if you're a running back, if you're Dylan McDuffie, you're going, thank you very much. You know I'm going to get a plus 10-yard run. And now with the heat that's down on the field that Quint talked about, that it's kind of warm and muggy down there, this is an offensive lineman's dream.
14-yard gain. First and 10 from just outside the 10. Daniels on the pitch. A race to the pylon. And he cuts it in, McDuffie does this time, and brought down for about a 3-yard gain. Wall making the tackle. Got some shadows down in the field. How impactful, if at all, is that?
Well, it looks like defensively, it looks like BYU is looking into the sun a little bit. So, yeah, that can affect your ability to play the football.
And Jason Bean, Lewis, coming into the game, they've got 2 quarterbacks on the field, Jalen Daniels and Jason Bean.
Yeah, this is the guy who they told us is the fastest guy on the football team. He can do so many different things.
9th play of the drive. It goes to the fullback, the tailback, Devin Neal. They snapped it to him. That's a formation they used last week at Nevada, but Nevada called a timeout.
Yep.
To diffuse things.
Put Devin Neal at the wildcat position. He takes the direct snap from the center.
Jason Bean coming off the field. Remember, he led the Jayhawks to their first win of the season against Missouri State when Daniels was hurt.
You just see there, if he goes uncovered, they're just going to throw it to him. If he's covered, then you just take it and run it.
3rd and 4. They can get a first down without scoring. Daniels surveys, fires. Touchdown, Grimm. Got his feet down in the back of the end zone. Daniels threw a laser that found Grimm in the back of the end zone.
You're going to see Luke Grimm right here. You're just going to see him press out and then go in. Secondary just not on the same page here. And with all the different looks they got on that drive, I can't really blame them. They really were put on their heels that time. And that drive, with all the different schemes that were thrown at them, the different personnel groupings, you had a little bit of wildcat. What a nice job on the part of the Kansas coaching staff of changing it up.
They got a deep bag. That's what you're telling me, right?
Absolutely.
And there's the trigger man, Jalen Daniels. Another highlight to add to that pendant on his chain. But plenty of football to go when we come back.
Feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
I feel it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I feel good.
Yeah.
Body feels great.
Yeah.
Just feeling in motion right now.
Yeah. It's good, man. Get out there.
He wasn't comfortable until he found out that his people had gotten into the stadium and gotten their tickets, and
I can relate to that.
He's comfortable right now. His team with an 8-point lead, 28-20. Cougars will have it 1st and 10. Well, coming up later tonight, one more big game on ABC and the ESPN app. Number 3, Texas and Waco taking on Baylor in what's expected to be a blackout game at McLean Stadium. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Should be a great one. Boy, what about the renaissance under Coach Sarkisian this year of Texas?
He's got the players that he wants now. I was down there in Austin earlier this summer and spoke to the football team, and Steve Sarkisian, he felt he had a squad ready to compete.
See how the Cougars bounce back. L.J. Martin trying to get to the corner. Brought down after a gain of about 1 on the play. Lewis, the one thing I've been impressed with from the Jayhawks has been the hitting defensively of their secondary.
Oh, yeah. These guys are running and hunting. And look, they knew there was going to need to be this type of football game. They've got some great body types on that side of the ball, Mark. We saw that at practice yesterday. They've got guys that are long, tall. They are muscled up, and they run to the football. Great team defense, as you saw already in this football game. It's reared its head over and over again.
Tell you a little bit more about the conditioning factor on this Kansas defense. Part of the culture Coach Leipold is building. Slovis under duress. Got it off in time and caught at the other end. Marion, making the catch. Keelan Marion. And they move the chains. A 37-yard gain. And Slovis dropped a dime.
He sure is. And look, he feels the pressure. He knows he's got to get it out. And you see Keelan Marion, he just ran what's called a little bit of a switch route to get away from man coverage. Just a natural rub concept. And then just sprint down the sideline. And he's someone who shows up on tape over and over again with his ability to get vertical, track the football, finish with big plays. And Keaton Slovis, he's dropping some dimes, that's for sure.
Marion, the transfer from UConn, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Slovis on the move. Delivers, tipped, almost picked off. In heavy traffic for Keanu Hill, Kenny Logan got a hand on it and knocked it away. Well, for 10 years, ESPN has supported the College Football Playoff Foundation, bringing the college football community together during Extra Yard for Teachers Week to celebrate and honor great teachers. Since its inception, the College Football Playoff Foundation has recognized over 500,000 educators. For more, follow at CFP Extra Yard. Keaton Slovis has a couple of educators as parents. Man, they set up a screen, but there was a lot of action, a lot of commotion, a lot of traffic and congestion out there. Kobe Bryant said, "I got this."
I think there's a little bit of a miscommunication there. It looked like they were trying to set up a wide receiver screen. Then you had Mason Fakahuna, who's also out there thinking as though he was the guy who was intended to run the screen, and they're both standing right next to each other. A whole bunch of defenders showed up on the scene.
Sets up a 3rd and 13. 4 receivers. Little speed option and a toss to Smith. And Smith is going to be chopped down at about the 35, 36-yard line by that mellow fellow, Mellow Dotson, in on another tackle, a 6-yard gain. And it's 4th down coming up. Talked about the tackling of this Jayhawk defense. Coach Leipold incentivizing everything that has to do with conditioning, weightlifting in particular.
You got a 4th down situation.
Yep, they're going to go for it.
Satake, absolutely. But their receivers have been able to get loose down the field one-on-one. You know that Kansas is probably going to play a little too high structure to protect against the deep ball. No, looks like they're going single high.
Slovis got rid of it, into traffic, picked off at the 13-yard line. Kobe Bryant down at the 36, his second big play of the afternoon. The Mamba mentality on full display, in full effect.
That's just a bad decision, a bad throw on the part of Keaton Slovis. You're going to see right here, the 2 safeties. I thought they were going to go like this, but what they wound up doing was this. And they got one-on-one up top. And watch, Kobe Bryant plays it perfectly. You jam, you sink, you pin the wide receiver to the sideline, the ball's underthrown, and he just makes the easy interception. That's a nice disguise at the snap. Keaton Slovis thought he was going to have to run some kind of fade up the sideline. He just left it short. Man, Kobe Bryant is making big-time plays.
Yeah, he is putting some money on tape today. Neal on the handoff. Picks up the 1st down with a pickup at 12. Bywater making the tackle on the play. If your government name is Kobe Bryant, and it's spelt a little differently, it's not K-O-B-E, it's C-O-B-E-E. Any way you spell it ball player.
He has shown you the full range of his arsenal, both in terms of being a tackler, someone who's physical, someone who can play man-to-man, finish on the football with interceptions. He's as smooth as water. The way he just kind of flows and moves out on the field, yeah, he's got a future at the next level.
They fake the handoff to Neal. And Daniels, JD6 slides in safely for the 1st down. We saw a little bit more running from Daniels in the previous drive. How has that impacted BYU defensively?
Well, I think because of the way in which they're getting to some of their runs, Mark, with the speed option, the zone reads, the RPOs, and now, you know, they've shown a little bit of wildcat with Devin Neal, and then they bring Jason Bean in. It's kind of, it makes you tentative. You don't know what your run fits are. You don't know where your eyes are supposed to be. And next thing you know, you start vacating gaps, creating seams, and everything starts to open up.
Sets up a 2nd down and 1. Neal in motion. Play clock at 2. Neal on the handoff, got a blocker in front of him, picks up the 1st down, and a lot more. Inside the 35 to the 33. Good block by Jared Casey on the 10-yard pickup.
And it's just on that play alone, you have the entire offensive line looking like they're going to run some kind of outside zone to the right. You have Devin Neal coming back to the left. They hand it off to him, and it's just, I mean, right now they have got BYU totally on their heels as far as what are they looking at and how do they fit up this run game.
Huge change in production in the run game here in the 2nd half. They run it again. Oh, great stop and go. Hishaw pushed out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Daniel Hishaw got 15 on that scamper. And this Jayhawk offense in a discernible rhythm right now. You can feel the momentum swinging their way on this drive. 15 minutes to go. If you didn't believe us at the top of the show, you might know now there's something special going on football-wise in Lawrence. Back for the 4th quarter right after this. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching ESPN College Football, delivered by Papa John's. And now let's take a look at today's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. His name is Kobe, last name Bryant.
He is having a day. He has shown you that the physical side of the game is right up his alley. He's got great ball skills, great instincts. I talked about his movement qualities. Just a complete corner.
Daniels hands it off to the tailback, Hishaw. And Hishaw is going to be brought down at the 20-yard line by Vongpachan, pardon me, a loss of 2 on the play. And Bywater as well sets up a 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, this is an important drive for the psyche of the BYU defense. They need to get out of here by at least holding them to 3. Can't let them in the end zone here. And it's important for this offense to get back on the field for BYU and get some points on the board. But these are a critical set of downs right here.
Neal on the sweep. Pushed out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Sets up a 3rd down. Ethan Slade pushed him out of bounds. A pickup of 7. So here we go on 3rd down and 5. Jalen Daniels has been masterful here in the 2nd half, consulting that card of his.
See, who are the guys you think you need to take care of? You got to take care of Luke Grimm up here at the top of your screen. Play with good eyes.
They send him in motion. Daniels, enough time into the end zone, got a man, touchdown! Grimm, as told.
Luke
Jalen Daniels with another touchdown pass here in the 2nd half. And Grimm with his 2nd one of the day.
They put him in motion, come across the formation, decipher whether it's man or zone, then run the little wheel route with the natural little pick action.
You called it.
Perfect play call.
You called it. Luke Grimm, an academic all Big 12 performer, taking BYU's defense to school here.
Yeah, this is just a nice play call. I'll tell you, Kansas has been in the bag here in the 2nd half, man. They got it rolling.
Welcome back, everyone. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. I know it's not Taco Tuesday, but it kind of feels like it right now with what's going on in the stands and the celebratory mood around and in the stadium, with Kansas leading 35-20 in this the conference opener for both teams. And the Cougars will take it 1st and 10 from the 25. Let's take one more look at that touchdown. What happened defensively?
You're just going to see Kansas is going to send Luke Grimm in motion here pre-snap just to try and figure out if it's going to be man or zone. And you can see the corner and the corner on this side. They know what's going to come. They know this is going to become an in and out situation. You can see them right there communicating, meaning I'll take yours, you take mine. The problem is when they cross, you see the corner right here, Eddie Heckard. He's looking in the backfield at the quarterback instead of keeping his eyes on his man. So they knew exactly what to do. They anticipated it, but it was the execution within the defense that got them. And that's the margin of error. Yeah. The difference between a stop and a touchdown.
They tried to run it on 1st down, and that run game has been a sore spot for BYU all season long. Booker makes the tackle, no gain. They have been unable so far to establish a prominent run game. Lonnie Satake, head coach, watching with 13:10 to go in the 4th quarter. Both teams undefeated coming into this one. Slovis out of the pocket. Had time, and incomplete, intended for Chase Roberts. A little bit of an overthrow. Let's go down to Quinn.
Extra yard for teachers this week. We salute the parents of Keaton Slovis, Lisa and Max Slovis, both teachers in Arizona. Max, a middle school math teacher and basketball coach. Lisa has taught math, English, and currently art. Keaton had to go to class in middle school that were taught by his parents, Jonesy. Can you imagine?
That ain't cool.
Can you imagine what happens when you go to one of those classes
that ain't cool.
and you don't have your homework done?
And he said he couldn't call him mom or dad. He had to call him Mr. and Mrs. Slovis.
Man, that's trauma, man. That's a different kind of trauma. 3rd and 9. Tipped, but caught at the other end. Lassiter, who's playing against his brother, and picks up the 1st down for 16. It was interesting. Keaton told us a story about one day his dad calling him out of class and jamming him up hard and then sending him back in the classroom, and all of his classmates were staring at him like, are you all right? We know what your dad said. 1st and 10. Underneath. Isaac Rex trying to break that tackle, couldn't, and brought down for a gain of about 6 on the play. Craig Young making the stop. 12:19 to go.
As cool and calm as Keaton Slovis is, he's going to need all of that right now, just like he needed it last week against Arkansas. No more bad decisions, no more errant throws. The margin for error is slim. He's got to lead them now.
Hands it off to Deion Smith, who's brought down right near the line of scrimmage by Tawny Dunn Jr. And it's 3rd down coming up for BYU. A critical 3rd down, down a couple of touchdowns.
Absolutely. Last week, it was guys like Keelan Marion, Chase Roberts, who were making the big plays down the field. They need a chunk. They need a big play here. He has thrown the deep ball well all afternoon. They need another one of those shots to get this offense sparked and get it going.
They're 5 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. Slovis rolls out, finds his target, who came back to the ball. Marion, with wonderful awareness, picks up the 1st down with the 11-yard gain.
I just mentioned the fact that Keelan Marion showed up last week when they needed him the most, and he's showing up here again. They've got guys who are long and tall with great catch radiuses who can really make plays on the football down the field. And they need to push the ball down the field. They need to score, and they need to score quickly.
Their offense not as prolific here in the 2nd half so far. 1st and 10 from the 41. Slovis fires. Caught at the 30-yard line by Lassiter again. Working against O.J. Burrows. Lassiter, if you remember, we told you earlier, playing against his brother Quentin, who's a corner for the opposition today. 11-yard gain. Been a busy week. There's Mom. She's here watching. Mom Erica. Younger brother Quincy as well. Been a busy week media-wise for Darius Lassiter and his brother Quentin. Slovis had time and completes it to Isaac Rex. Tell you what, he has been on all night like a porch light. There's a flag down on the play. They got nothing for him defensively. Gonna wait for the call here. But Isaac Rex continues to be a matchup nightmare for Kansas defensively. 8 catches, 92 yards if it stands. And he's got the right idea. He invites his quarterback down to his crib for a couple weeks in the summer to toss and run some drills and build up some chemistry, and it's paying off.
See the officials trying to get on the same page here. This is an important drive. You can see Kalani Sitake over there asking about what is going on.
Confusion.
Yeah, that's the look of someone who is.
There are 2 fouls on the play against the offense. Illegal touching, offense, number 83. That penalty is declined. Illegal block below the waist, offense, number 20. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. It'll be first down.
He's on all night like a porch light. Jonesy, you know, there are some censored porch lights now that are triggered by movement. And I have one that constantly is getting tripped up by the deer who are eating my garden.
Hey, they'll eat all the flowers that you plant. Watch it, Q. Well, that was actually against Rex, the guy that's been on all night. One of the 2 penalties. Here's Slovis to do it again. Stepping up. Going to be tackled back at the 44-yard line by Gage Keys. A transfer from Minnesota.
Actually, that penalty, they called it on Isaac Rex, but really it's on his guys on the outside. One of the wide receivers couldn't cover him up. Had to be off the ball because Isaac Rex was on the ball.
Okay.
So the formation just wasn't right. And then they got Deion Smith for chop blocking on the edge outside the tackle box on a rusher. So those are the kind of critical errors you just can't have right now. When you're moving the football down the field and Keaton Slovis is starting to find his rhythm, you just got to be smart.
Looking at a 2nd and 25. Slovis gets rid of it underneath at the 42-yard line. Pass caught. Sets up 3rd down and long. They got to get down to the 20-yard line to get this first down. And it might be a deal where they're in 4-down territory.
Absolutely. I was just thinking the same thing. What do you get to so you can get to a 4th and manageable situation? Some kind of zone beater, some kind of high-low concepts that frees somebody up over the middle of the field. So maybe you get another crack at it, or maybe you break loose and you produce a big play.
3rd and long. Slovis has time. Incomplete. Intended for Hill. And there's a flag down. It was closely defended by Kenny Logan, so hold on a minute. And you can tell by Logan's reaction.
Pass interference, defense number 1.
Yep.
15-yard penalty, about first down.
One of the most fierce defenders, a little overzealous that time defensively for the Jayhawks, Kenny Logan. So it's going to be first down for the Cougars.
And Kenny Logan, he read it perfectly. He saw Keanu Hill coming across the formation.
Like he held him a little bit.
He just couldn't stop his momentum. It was just trying to slow him down. That really lets BYU off the hook.
Kansas with 7 penalties today for a total of 70 yards. They spot the ball at the 26. Slovis into the end zone, into coverage, and incomplete. He tried Mello Dotson that time, working against Chase Roberts, the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. We have 2 more featured games on ESPN Plus tonight. Number 25, Florida hosts Charlotte in the Swamp, and Houston hosts Sam Houston. Both of those are 7 Eastern, 6 Central starts. Get ESPN Plus. Go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. 2nd and 10. Slovis hits his underneath receiver. Lassiter on the move, still on his feet, tripped up from behind, falls forward inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Cougars. He picked up 21.
What a nice mesh concept, meaning you got 2 double shallow crossers coming from each side. One from the right, one from the left.
Timeout for an injured player.
Jason Gillum a little shaken up there, Lewis.
Yep, anticipating man coverage. Nice play call.
8:22 to go in the 4th quarter, and this the conference opener. Back after this.
ESPN College Football is delivered by Papa John's. Get Papa John's new boneless wings on the Papa Pairings menu. And in part by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Look at the Watkins Community Museum here in Lawrence, of which Langston Hughes is commemorated inside. He grew up here in Lawrence, Kansas, the famous laureate whose famous quote, one of my favorites, is, quote, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." BYU looking to take flight here late. 1st and goal. And the Cougars will call a timeout coming out of the timeout. We'll take one with them. Kansas leading by 15 here in the 4th. Arkansas coming off the loss to these Jayhawks last week. Pardon me, BYU at home. Cougars on the jet sweep, touchdown. Marion got in to bring the Cougars a little closer. Boy, the timing on that was exquisite, Lewis.
Yeah, they handed off to him on the full tilt. You see the block out on the perimeter against Mello Dotson. And that's 2 weeks in a row now that Keelan Marion has made big-time plays in the 4th quarter to keep his team rolling.
They're going to go for 2 here. Line it up on the left hash. And a flag thrown on the field.
Substitution infraction, offense, 12 players, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
I think we've seen that a couple times today.
This is not going to make Kalani happy, and you can see him over there right now. These critical moments here in the 4th quarter, situational football, and now they send on. I mean, you see it right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There was a guy running off the field.
Can't do that.
Just can't have it. You can't have those kind of things. You rep that kind of stuff over and over later in the week as far as substitution packages.
And with the infraction, they decide to go for the extra point, kicking it from the left hash. A little over 8 minutes to go, and we have a 1-score game, 35-27. And Keaton Slovis was very poised and precise on that last drive. And now let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Prudential. Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Florida State squeezing by Clemson today in overtime, dropping Clemson to 2-2. Anything there jump off the page at you, partner?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, down there at 10, like Oregon sending a message saying, hey, look, you guys, we can all feel good about what Prime is doing out there in Boulder, but we're right now.
Right.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this whooping on you real quick and keep on with our business. But look, again, we know where Colorado is as far as their program build, and we know where Oregon is. But yeah, the second half of the season, as we approach the midway point, and some great matchups, just great matchups.
Kansas will have it 1st and 10. You know, looking at that top 10, the one team that jumped off the page at me that I like as a little bit of a sleeper are the Washington Huskies. Quarterback Michael Penix has been incredible this year. Actually, going back to last season, the lefty transfer has been great.
Yeah, quarterback play in the Pac-2, Pac-9, Pac whatever you call them now. I mean, it's been absolutely spectacular. I mean, these guys have been putting up the football in just record numbers in terms of their efficiency, the big plays they've been producing. It's been fun to watch. It's been absolutely fun to watch. And Penix is right there.
Daniels going to keep it. He's been running the ball a lot here in the second half. Stays on his feet. Got a good block from his tight end, Jared Casey. And close to the first down. He got it. Picked up 10, and Casey feeling good about his effort on that play. Look at that.
If you're Kansas right now, you understand that look, your offensive line has taken over this football game. The running game has taken over this game in the second half. You see it right there. I mean, look at those rush yards. 104 rush yards in the second half. That's exactly what you need right now in this moment. You need to grind this clock down and impose your will along the line of scrimmage.
Neal into the boundary, being patient. Pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 4 on the play. Andy Kalnecki, the offensive coordinator, is really tough on that offensive line as a former offensive lineman himself, and now he sends in Jason Bean, QB2, into the game. Second time he's been on the field. Let's see how they line this up. Last time they snapped it directly to the tailback. Daniels is behind center. Cardell in motion and sets. 2nd and 6. They fake the reverse. Well, a lot of motion, but just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can possibly play it on the part of BYU. That's good eyes. That's understanding, hey, look, there's probably going to be a lot of misdirection in the backfield. The ball handling is designed to make you get out of your gaps and maybe start chasing things that really don't lead you to the point of attack. And now they have a critical 3rd and 5 that they need to get off the field if you're BYU.
First down here for the Jayhawks really helps their cause moving forward. Daniels reloads. Gonna run it. Made a move. Got the first down. Jalen Daniels moves the chains with his legs this time. With 6 minutes to go, got 5 crucial yards.
And I really thought that they had him here. They really matched the patterns in their zone scheme perfectly. And then when he breaks contain, I thought cornerback Camden Garrett was going to stop him short of the first down. He had him one-on-one right there on the edge. But as we talked about earlier, his dual threat capabilities is what separates him and makes him one of the most exciting players in the country. There was a perfect example of it.
Hands it off this time to Highshaw. Highshaw picking up another first down. You can see and feel that offensive line taking charge in the run game now.
And it's getting good blocking out on the edge. Jared Casey making a good kick out block. The wide receivers coming in and crack blocking on the linebackers. On that play, you saw Tanaka Scott just making a great block on the linebacker Max Tooley, number 31. Everybody doing their part. The clock just keeps ticking, and you just take a little bit more out of BYU's defense with every run like that.
First down and 10, under 5 minutes to go. Daniels hands it off again. Highshaw, great move. Oh, what a shake. All the way inside the 20. He took some ankles on that play. He rocked Tanner Wall.
I feel for you, Tanner Wall. I've been in this situation when you're coming downhill on the back like that, and he just puts his foot in the ground and goes north and south. The best you can do is try and just stay inside out on it, because if he cuts back inside like that, he has all that grass to work with.
24-yard pickup, 1st and 10 down to the 21. Both teams undefeated. Daniels hands it off to Neal. Running patiently behind that offensive line, picks up 3 on the play. Kansas beginning 3-0 again this year. Seeking back-to-back 4-0 starts for the first time since, 1913 to 15. I'm not even going to try the quick math on that, but that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of years, folks. It's a lot. You can see that.
Hey, man, I had to stay late after school.
I'll tell you what, this running game, Jalen Daniels picking up that crucial third down. You can just see the life it's given the offense, and it's taken a little bit out of BYU.
Neal again. Oh, man, one guy got him, or else it might have been a touchdown. A touchdown-saving tackle by Ethan Slade on Devin Neal. A yawning, gaping hole up front for him to run through. Got 9.
I mean, you just see, watch, block down, kick out, and just watch it open up right here. I mean, it's just perfect. That's what offensive linemen want. They want this kind of situation where you know you're playing quote-unquote 4-minute football. You're just trying to grind the clock down and end the game. The defense knows that's what you're trying to do. And still every play you look in the defender's eyes and you go, there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to be coming again. We'll be right back in a couple seconds.
Helpless. Highshaw couldn't get to the edge and is brought down for a short loss on the play. Meanwhile, Neal has run for 90 yards this afternoon. He and Highshaw complimenting each other well in the backfield. Hey, Big 12 now is only on ESPN Plus. Here's tonight's featured college football matchup. Houston against Sam Houston at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big12 now. Devin Neal back in the ball game.
Right now, if you're BYU, you need a turnover. You need to get the ball back. You have to turn this football over some way, shape, or form.
Neal on the run, cuts it north-south, met with lots of resistance. Taggart making the tackle that time for BYU. Under 2 minutes to go, 3rd down and goal. It's still just a 1-score game. We're going to take a timeout. Come back for the close in a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at today's game track. Delivered by Papa John's, and some of the cogent, pertinent numbers on the day. Jalen Daniels with a great stat line, 130 yards in the air, 52 on the ground, 3 touchdowns. A comprehensive job in leadership. And BYU really never got its running game going today. And right now, a score for the Jayhawks really makes it difficult for the Cougars. 3rd and goal coming up. Dylan McDuffie, number 25 in the backfield beside Jalen Daniels. Casey in motion. Daniels going to run it himself. Got a blocker in front of him, won't make it, and got hit hard. There's a flag down. Daniels is down at about the 7-yard line. Tanner Wall brought some heat. Still awaiting this call.
What they're going to call block in the back, maybe on Jared Casey on the edge.
Illegal motion, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Illegal motion. Well, I think they're still calling it on Jared Casey. I think he started towards the line of scrimmage instead of coming parallel to the line of scrimmage. I think that's maybe what they called.
So it sets up a 4th goal. And the ball is at the 6, and the little confusion with the clock on the sidelines. Field goal unit comes in. Seth Keller in to attempt a field goal from 23 yards out. First one of the day, has a career long of 49. This could potentially put it on ice for the Jayhawks. And he does. Knocks it through to make it a 2-score game as we check in with the studio. Arkansas was missing one of their top running backs last week in that loss against BYU, but still a big win for the Cougars on the road. But right now down by 11 points with 1:36 to play. Big games coming up. Another Daniels is playing pretty good quarterback for LSU right now.
That game will be fun to watch. And I'll tell you, those Texas Longhorns, boy, they've got it going. They've got it going. They can light up the scoreboard. Quinn Ewers playing real good football.
Their eyes are going to be wide open when they see this Kansas team on tape,
sure,
right?
For sure. Look, this is a fun team to watch. And I tell you, it's important for Kansas, and it's in coaching. I mean, important for Coach Leipold for this to not be an or team, but an and program, meaning he wants Kansas to be known for football and basketball, not just basketball or football. And I think right now he is gaining some credibility with his own fan base, capturing those fringe fans who right now maybe didn't believe that Kansas football was actually something that you really needed to put all your support behind. But as you can see, they play a fun brand of offense. They have some physical go-getters on defense. They are very, very well coached, and they've got some big games coming up here very shortly.
He talked about how important it was having success through player development and retaining your players, making them better. That pass incomplete at the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10. Hey, coming up later tonight, one more big game on ABC and the ESPN app. Number 3 Texas in Waco on the banks of the Brazos River, taking on Baylor. What's expected to be a blackout at McLean Stadium. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. From the 25, 2nd and 10 for Keaton Slovis. Martin in the backfield. Slovis found the lane and completes it to Lassiter. Darius Lassiter having a productive afternoon in front of his family, picks up 22. Well, the Big 12 conference schedule underway in earnest. Here's what it looks like. Leaving next year, Oklahoma and Texas, BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, Central Florida coming in, and next year Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah if you don't have a scorecard. Slovis on 1st and 10. Going to be sacked back at the 35-yard line by J.B. Brown. Ironically, the team barber for the Kansas team. He gave the Cougars a haircut. Little fade. They caught a fade right there.
Just a nice job of front and coverage going together. Tight man coverage in the back end. You see Keaton just sitting there, just had nowhere to go with it, and that just gives the rush more time to go to work.
3rd sack today. Slovis fires. That's going to be complete. Nice catch by Marion, who's shown a lot of skill today. Picks up 11.
He has shown up big time. Big time. And again, it's 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, they're going to say incomplete.
But regardless, this young man has made big plays.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
He's made big plays for this football team. And Kalani Sitake is going to count on him for the rest of this year because he has shown in the biggest of moments he doesn't shrink from the situation. He rises to the situation. They just got to get their run game going. They cannot live with Keaton Slovis throwing the football 49 times.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
And only rushing for 9 yards a game.
Yeah, next week, Coach Sitake will have his team at home against Cincinnati, one of the new members of the conference we saw in that graphic a moment ago. Here's another look at the play under review.
You see that left foot on the line when he catches it.
Great pictures by our camera people and director Anthony DeMarco in the truck.
I don't think that's going to be a catch. But yeah, they've just got to get this offense more balanced up. Defensively, the run game really did them in here tonight.
Or lack of, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the run game for them, defensively, they just weren't able to stop it. When Kansas started hitting them with their various different ways in which they can attack the perimeter in the run game, whether it be speed, option, zone read, crack toss, whatever it is. They just didn't have answers for it. So they have to get that cleaned up. But for Kansas, wow.
Here's the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass stands. Third down.
So third down coming up for the Cougars. With 52 seconds to go. They need a major miracle, down by 11. From the 37. Slovis in and out of the arms of Chase Roberts. You don't see him drop many. 4th and 20 coming up.
He just wasn't ready for it, didn't have his head around. Keaton trying to anticipate that break because he saw backside safety poaching across the field, was going to put a big hit on him, so he tried to give it to him early. It's been one of those kind of days.
4 receivers out in this formation. Slovis delivers, knocked away, and they'll take over on downs, the Jayhawks. Mello Dotson knocked it down, and that should do it for the Jayhawks. 42 seconds away from improving to 4-0 on the season.
Mark, you have to be impressed by this Kansas operation. And we said it after we left the facility yesterday. The Coach Leipold has a good idea of what he needs to do, the kind of things he's trying to build. They have some new facilities going in around here that have already been built. They have great teachers on this staff. Everybody came back from a year ago. They have a football team that had a lot of returning starters, a lot of experience. And he said, hey, look, I want to make this a place where people want to come and they don't want to leave. That I don't want to leave people to the transfer portal. I want to attract them to the, through the portal. And here they are 4-0 with a big showdown coming up soon with that team in Austin, Texas.
Remember last year they began 5-0 before Jalen Daniels was injured, and they only had one more win the rest of the way before playing in their bowl game. Grimm with a couple of touchdown catches, and Kobe Bryant set the tone and tenor early. Let's go down to Quinn.
Coach, congratulations. What was it like for you to take the field today? Beautiful day, sellout crowd.
Yeah, the weather held off. We had so happy for it, and supportive of our fans have been so supportive. I'm so proud of our guys, how far they've come and battled. This is a good BYU football team, physical, play hard, play smart, and for us to get a win means a lot for us to second year in a row to get off to a 4-0 start.
You scored 2 defensive touchdowns. You had another pick. Kobe Bryant was everywhere. How do you best characterize the work of the defense?
Well, I thought our secondary played extremely well and aggressive. I thought we played as well downhill as we have played in a long time here.
The second half in particular. Yeah. You told me at halftime, you said we need to go downhill. What changed?
I don't know, we talked, this group understands, they take coaching well, and they saw some things. But, O.J. Burroughs almost had that pick on one of the first plays of the second half. Then Kenny gets one and everything. It's like, man, again, we've got a little more experience back there, and they understand some things, and they got a good feel for it.
I think of the word relentless. I also think of the myth that this is a basketball school that you proved incorrect today.
I don't know. We're just going to keep battling. We're going to keep battling. Yeah, we want to be relentless. And, again, we're proud and